Una kusha una kabo audi go. This na Vikiremo. We are just days, matter of days, moments away from Sierra Leone Independence Day, which is celebrated every year on April 27th. Yeah. So every single year as we go into independence, one question they way before and during independence, some people then like for ask every single year we're around the online this question people then they ask and say then they ask and say and me personally I don't tire for hearing this question. I don't like how people then they ask them. I don't like that then they ask them. So I don't decide say this year 2025 I they take upon myself for let I clear the ear and answer this question once and for all so that subsequent years where you hear the person ask this question, just send on this video do ya. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, this is your first time on my YouTube channel, welcome. My name is Vicky Rambeau. I'm a Sierra Leonean everything. Journalist, writer, producer, entrepreneur, fly gal, number one gal from my village. Most importantly, I am your plug online to everything that's happening in the diaspora and at home. I have been online documenting, amplifying, storytelling Sierra Leone since the year of our Lord 2005. Clap for me, clap for me. And I straddle, and by that I mean I am between continents, in between continents, America and West Africa. Grew up in PG County in Maryland, but also salon born and bred. So if ever there was an individual who could take you through the in total of this question, it is me. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. Always gotta have my sparkling water. That's just who I be. Okay. Oh, don't forget to like, share. My son tells me that I should always tell people like, share, comment, because that's how we keep the lights on. Though it's not. But yeah, welcome to the channel. Subscribe so that the next time I have a video up, you'll get an alert. Anyway, so people always ask this question. By people, I mean Sierra Leoneans. And when they ask it, it comes with a tone of like anger, reproach, trauma. And usually I can just want for like disregard the question and the questioner. But I feel like for say the more responsible thing for do now for respond and for let people that understand something but then self when they ask that question they and also about the level of involvement at the country. What is the question that people always ask going into independence? You know, comment it below. You know the question that is coming to you. You know. Okay. When we say happy Sierra Leone independence, what do they say? What do they ask us? They say, what is there to be happy about? What is there to celebrate? What is there to celebrate? What is there to celebrate about Sierra Leone independence? Are you killing me? Are you killing me? Anyways, now, the fact that even somebody would ask that question suggests to me that they need therapy. Like, maybe there's some trauma they're carrying around about being Sierra Leonean that when they hear Sierra Leone independence or Happy Salon independence or for celebrate independence, that the only thing they can say is what is like for them it's like a rhetorical question that there's nothing to celebrate, right? So first point I want to make is this. Imagine you birthday, the one grand day where them born you at this world. Your one birthday, on your birthday, hmm? Your day of birth, where them pull you come out from memory to reality, from thoughts to action. You pass inside this world on your birthday, where people will wish you happy birthday, mortal man and come out and say, what is so happy about the birthday? And another day now, the one can use for tell all you bad habits. Excuse me? Excuse me? Are you a hater? Are you a hater? You must be a hater. That's one. Okay. There are 365, 366 days of the year that are not Sierra Leone Independence Day. They are not. You have 364 days of the year. For lay you complain, but waiting wrong, but you can't sleep. You want to tell me you cannot take one day to be positive, uplifting, and celebratory of being a Sierra Leonean citizen, a Sierra Leonean national, 1 day out of 365, boy? You want to say you're not able to take one single one? I'm sure you can, and you should. The other thing that I think is important to recognize in that question is people who ask this question oftentimes are not actively involved in solving issues that affect the Sierra Leonean community or national issues. Where you dey involved a fixed problem, you approach to the problem different. The way you view the problem, the way you perceive them different. If you actively engage in your community, whether at home or in the diaspora, if you actively connected to your community associations, etc., institutions, etc., if you are genuinely invested and involved in solving Sierra Leone's problems, where Independence Day come, because you are involved in making positive change in your country and in your community, you always have something to celebrate. Whether it's the people you work with, before they shine, Big Forehead Committee, me and Rihanna and Tyra Banks and every beautiful woman out there, shout out to us. But when you have a big forehead, it's always shiny. But no, seriously, if you actively involved in problem solving, it's so apt for make you just feel like a desical or negative towards something where you they work for fix. So if you find yourself asking on Sierra Leone Independence, or as we approach it, if you find yourself asking what is there to celebrate in that like back talk we will not can do it actually says that you're not involved in solving our problems. And that's why you not get nothing for celebrate. Because we aren't they pan something specific, we they try for fix, solve. We always get something for celebrate. We get people the way we they work with for celebrate. We get the progress where we don't make and the work the way they do for celebrate. We get people the way they inspire we for celebrate. So if you feel like you don't have anything to celebrate, ask yourself, how am I a part of the solution? Am I a part of the solution? If I do not feel like there's something to celebrate about Sierra Leone Independence Day, why is that? Is it because there's nothing to celebrate? Or is it because I myself am not involved in things worth celebrating? Because as I'm sitting here as a Sierra Leonean, I have an infinite number of things to celebrate about being a Sierra Leonean, about Sierra Leoneans in general. And stopping to celebrate and honor your people and your country, not to, mean say you not recognize or acknowledge challenge or difficulty. No, it means say you they take that 1 day for acknowledge the positive. You are taking a break from negativity on this a national birthday. So please stop asking this question. This year, and even just reflecting generally on the last several years in Sierra Leone, are there lots of issues? Absolutely. But is it Independence Day that you must choose to criticize those issues? You don't get other team for do? How about Independence Eve, April 26th, use it to criticize. Independence Day, use it to celebrate and acknowledge progress. And then the day after independence, you can go back to criticizing. How about that? And yes, as a Sierra Leonean, especially we were millennials that we lived through the war. By the time I was 12 years old, I was already a refugee in Guinea, like many of the other Sierra Leoneans who grew up around that time. By the time I was 12 years old, I don't already see anybody in the streets. By the time I was 12. And no other period not dey na Salone history where as difficult or as painful or as traumatic as the 10-year civil war. No other period not there. So it's not like we have not seen how we know that Sierra Leone's story has a lot of dark moments. And it is also especially because we are aware of the darkness that on Independence Day we embrace the light and the progress because we know say even though we not all arrive at the destination where we dey dream, we don't left Boko nightmare as Sierra Leoneans then behind. Look at me getting all emotional when I'm talking about our nightmares. We have seen our own. God don't pepper we self don't pepper we self. But you gotta find a way to be positive about who you are because our nationality is our identity. I let you go Antarctica, you say you go naturalize, you born on the picking and then you know they ever remember Salone again. Damn day, not to yourself to yourself. Not to yourself to yourself. Forever and ever, you will always be Sierra Leonean. Your DNA is inescapable. You cannot run away from what is the truth. You love cassava leaves, potato leaves, and groundnut soup. You cannot deny you like untu, you like corn soup. You cannot deny. No hamburger will ever take the place of fly. These are the facts. I say these are the pap. To make you understand, because pap is my favorite. No oatmeal will ever replace their sakara or rice pap. Eh? No donut hole will ever replace akara. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Your national identity is integral to who you are. It is culture, it is tradition, it is history. It is also family, it is heritage. So how can you, if you don't celebrate Sierra Leone's Independence Day, the day that we got our identity as a nation, meaning before Sierra Leone independence, there was no such thing as a Sierra Leonean. I want you to listen to that again. Before Sierra Leonean Independence Day, April 27, there was no such thing as a Sierra Leonean. You were a subject of the British Empire. You are not a Sierra Leonean. You're a subject. We are now Sierra Leoneans. That's 64 years of Sierra Leoneanness. That is something worth celebrating. You know, they say because person don't old, you know, they celebrating birthday 64. You celebrate it, especially because you're still here. You still exist. And yes. I mean, I can tell you so many things that I am proud of as a Sierra Leonean. But most of all, the top 10 we make her proud of being a Sierra Leonean. Now, other Sierra Leoneans, the accomplishments and the wonders, magic, and excellence that Sierra Leoneans bring into the world and have done since time and is it time immemorial or time immemorial? I don't know, since Trade. So much to celebrate. The unfortunate thing, I think, is that people place so much emphasis on the political that we allow the political lens to be the only lens where we see we country, we see we self. Cannot do that because it is so limiting. Being a Sierra Leonean should be something that is unwavering, enough for change, enough for shake. Whether na SLPP in a power, you let SLPP, APC in a power, you let APC, it no matter. The Sierra Leonean identity and it can force. A lot of you love the Champions League. You love the Premiership. Okay? Where Manchester, they play bad, or Liverpool, they play bad, or Arsenal, they play bad, or Tottenham, who again, Chelsea, where then they play bad. You don't say no. I'm not Chelsea again. I reject it. No, you dey beer because you know that there are brighter days ahead. You lost today, but you win tomorrow. You are there. The way that Arsenal, for example, recently just kicked Real Madrid, I believe, out of We are going to the Champions League semi-finals, I believe. I'm not trying to boast about it. I'm just saying that if, as an Arsenal supporter, I had decided that I will now leave Arsenal, I will not celebrate. I will not be with my people, the Gunners worldwide. Can I now, not be part of the festival? I will. You have to stay where you are and celebrate. And the other thing is, me and Posse, we don't live in a beaucoup different country. I don't live in France. I don't live in Ghana. I don't live in Ethiopia. I don't live in America. I know we'll call the side where I don't go, but the side where I don't live in four different places: Salon, America, Ghana, and Ethiopia. What I can tell you is that now other countries than the world, maybe sometimes it's not called, but a Republic Day, the day where each country they celebrate their independence. It is a day of pride. It is a day to celebrate national symbols and culture and tradition and the flag, which is part of the national symbols. It's a day to come together and celebrate. People know they ask, what is there to celebrate about independence? What is there to celebrate about nationhood? What is there to celebrate about belonging to a place and a people? How can you ask such a question? How can we? I don't know, but some of them already decide, oh, this is sparkling water. It's not soda. I'm not going to person say this. It's inside a drink, soft drink. I'm not a drink, soft drink. Yeah, sugar is very bad for you, especially processed sugar. I say all this to say that we get for left this systematic habit for negate and down talk. Usari come out and Uda we be. It is very okay to criticize policy, government policy, or inaction. But for say you don't go celebrate the country instead. This is the mistake people make. The government's not to the country. The government's now a political entity recognized as the governing body for the geographic space that is the boundaries of Sierra Leone. Okay, the boundary, that shape. Oh, did you know that Sierra Leone is the roundest country in the world? Little known facts. Roundest country in the world. Anyways, point I'm trying to make is we should, on Independence Day and Independence season, we should find ways to celebrate our people, our community, and also to give service. And if you do that every year, you'll never ever ask, what do we have to celebrate as Sierra Leoneans? Because you would be the reason to celebrate. Your community would be the reason to celebrate. Your people would be the reason to celebrate. I hope you get my drift. I'm not saying that there isn't a place for critique and criticism. Of course there is. You should always, always constructively criticize. But on Independence Day, I beg, take a break. Take a break. Okay? Relax. While you really, really relax for Independence Day, take a break. Okay? Independence Day, celebrate. So now they ask, let this year be the last year anybody they ask what is there to celebrate Salon Independence. Don't do that again. After this year, I don't want anybody. If you must ask that a negative rhetorical question, it means you are part of the problem. Because problem solvers, solution finders, creators, value adders, nation builders don't ask what is there to celebrate because they are actively building, creating, investing. Before I go and forgive you one thing right now where I'm really so proud of, where worth celebrating as a Sierra Leonean, will make me so happy. So we have been in salon a couple months ago. I've been there interview people there. One of the people there we are interviewing Oswald. I think say Oswald in middle name Abiose. I think so. But Oswald na innovator. So I interview him, while I the interview him, I realize say through the conversation where they describe saying that inside book feel some side idea within business. Um, I realize say I been on go book fields for interview one innovator. I been on go book fields for go interview one innovator. As we dey talk, like tell me say, na be in grandpa. So the first time I begin doing me TV show na salon, I been go na book fields for go interview one all power been they like invent thing them. I say that party na be in grandpa. It must have been like maybe 16 years ago. I've been go interview that party. And I remember thinking, man, he's so bright, he's so talented. If now other country been there, sometimes go don't be multi-millionaire or something like that. And I forgot about him. And then I was here in front of me is his grandson, who's also an innovator, who had invented a way to use seawater ocean water, salt water, for make lights, for power lights, light bulb. And he brought it and he demoed it on the show, which hasn't aired. And I was just so impressed. And I was like, Oswald, I'm so happy that you exist. You make me so proud because I just knew sitting there that I was in the presence of greatness, like real genius and greatness. So we did edit the show. But then last week, I learned that Oswald, who participates in this like sports something, I forgot what it's called. Let me check. Um, so Fele City, which is this government innovation. Sorry, laughing because I know I'm for lie per waiting the details of the competition we participate in. So World Startup World Cup semifinals. Okay. Which gives the entrepreneur up to the chance to win $1 million for their investment, for their creation, right? So Oswald participated, okay? And I think this happened in Freetown like 2 weeks ago. And Oswald participated and he pitched the same lighting device that he had brought to my interview on the show. And Oswald won for Sierra Leone. And now he's going to go participate at the World Cup, the Startup World Cup 2025 Silicon Valley final with a chance to win $1 million in investment. And when I saw that news, I was just so happy. It just really, really made me full of so much joy because there's somebody local, a multi-generational innovator, comes from a long line of innovators in his own family. Government has set up Fele City, which then, because when you start doing innovative and entrepreneurial activity, it attracts other things, right? So, and then this World Cup, some Startup World Cup semifinals comes to Sierra Leone, right? Because there's the political will for it to come. And then this guy who's already trying to be a part of the solution, right? Because he noticed the way that electricity not readily available, energy crisis they salon. He now takes his invention, which he created to solve a local problem, pitches it at this semifinal competition. And now he's won and he's going to go pitch it to the world. This is the thing. Whether he wins or not at the World Cup, that's besides the point. Just being in the room where all of those other people are who do have the capital means that it increases the chances and possibility of him being able to get capital so that he can further develop his prototype and maybe take it to market or something. Because one of the things we talked about in the interview was about he was saying that like there's an issue with like getting orders from China to kind of like recreate and like mass produce so he can get it to market. But I just thought that was like the most brilliant thing. And so I don't know, but if you really, really feel like there's so many issues in Sierra Leone that stop you from wanting to celebrate, be a part of the solution. Be a part of the solution, like Oswald, who makes me so incredibly proud. to be a Sierra Leonean, and I'm going to be talking about him all year long. So I hope so. But yeah, that's the point. That's the point here today. That we have problems, you have to solve them. And when it's time to celebrate our nation, you do it with Tuan. You do it with Tuan, you do it loudly because April 27th, Sierra Leone Independence Day, it only comes once a year. Okay, so happy Sierra Leone Independence Day. I hope you'll use the day to reflect on what you can do to make the world a better place, both in for Sierra Leoneans and everybody else. What can you do this Sierra Leone independence to make Sierra Leone a better place so that every year you have something to celebrate about being Sierra Leone? That's the question. No, seriously. How can you be a part of the solution so that you have something to celebrate every year? That's my invitation of reflection to you. To everybody else watching this, whenever you watch it, whether it's 2025 or beyond, I hope that you continue to lean in for Sierra Leone wherever you are. Always choose to engage constructively, always choose service over self, and just always do the right thing that will make being a Sierra Leonean something worth celebrating. I know I am, so I'm always full of Sierra Leonean pride. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and no matter where you go, whatever you do, don't forget, make Sierra Leone famous, but only for the right reasons.